Welcome to Whole Foods for Whole People. I'm Zandria, and today we're making coconut milk, coconut cream, and coconut flour. So let's go outside and crack open this coconut. So we've made it outside. We're going to open up our coconut. It's got 3 holes right in there. We're going to poke through those holes. I'm using a screwdriver. It's my kitchen screwdriver. Whatever you use, make sure it's sterilized. You can use a screwdriver, an ice pick, a coconut pick. We're going to use our hammer. Hammer right down into those holes. You can hammer through 2 holes or 3. If you hammer through 3, it'll come out faster for you. And make sure to put that towel under there. Kind of helps hold everything in place for you. Third hole. That was the easy one. There's always an easy one. Have a container. You're going to turn it upside down. Let that coconut water fall out. This one didn't have very much. This is really good if you're dehydrated or super thirsty. It's also really good for flavoring your coconut cake, putting in smoothies, just drinking on its own. There we go. A little bit more in there. If you're unsure, just go ahead and give it a shake. Whatever's left comes on out. There we go. Set that aside. We're going to wrap the towel around the coconut just a little bit, just to prevent shards from coming out. And I do this outside on the concrete because counters just can't handle it. You'll break everything but your coconut open. And you're just going to hit that coconut. Okay, we got the shell off. That's what it looks like without the shell. Normally, the shell stays on. Your coconut looks like that on the inside. I've got some already broken apart with the shell off. And to get the shell off, normally you have your shell with your coconut inside. And you can see I cut a little wedge right there. And you popped it out, and then you wedge the rest. That's what the cutting board's for. And you just cut wedges and to the rest of it. And then you can pop those sections right out. And the next part is to peel all that brown skin off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because that takes a little bit of time. And we'll see you back inside when you're getting ready to shred it. And we're in the kitchen now. Before you touch your coconut, you need to line a tray with foil or parchment. Turn your oven on to 200 degrees. I've already done this, and I've already got our first round of coconut fiber in here for our coconut flour. And I'm going to show you next how to do that. We're going to make our coconut milk and our coconut cream, and what we have left is the coconut fiber. So our first step coming inside is to peel all your coconut. Make sure it's got none of that brown skin on it. And then go ahead and shred it. I used the food processor shredder. You can use a box grater. You can use your blender if you want to shred it. The important thing is to break it down so that it's easy for your food processor or your blender to really work it. And it takes a lot less time. So I've already put it in or shredded in here, and I've processed it for you so we don't have that loud sound going on. What it was half of our coconut. We did 3 coconuts. It was half of our coconut, and then I filled the water so it rose about ½ an inch off the bottom. I used nice, cool, clean water. You don't want to use cold water. Your coconut oil will clump. And you don't want to use hot water because then it's going to destroy the nutritional value of your coconut. So just cool water. It needs to be clean, filtered ahead of time if you use filtered water. If you use alkalized or ionized water, you want to make sure that's already done. Also, if you follow Ayurvedic routes, you want to make sure that you've boiled your water for at least 5 minutes and then set it to cool for room temperature. So we've already done that. I'm going to open this up. It's been blended for 2 minutes. It's very important to get it blended at least 2 minutes. And we're going to pour it right into our bowl. We have a bowl. You can use a strainer or a sieve, and then a cloth. I use an old t-shirt cloth. You can use a nut milk bag. You can use cheesecloth. And we're just going to pour this right in the top. And all that milk is going to come out the bottom. So grab your corners. You're going to squeeze all of that coconut milk out of there. And when you're done, your hands are going to feel a bit greasy. That's from the coconut oil in there, all that good yumminess. You want to squeeze as much out as you can. So the drier that the fiber is, the faster it'll cool in the oven. Faster it'll dry in the oven. This is that coconut fiber. It's all shredded up. And we're going to dump it right onto our tray. It's in big clumps. You can break up the clumps. And you put this tray in the oven for at least 2 hours. After 2 hours, you want to start checking it every half an hour. Nothing is going to stick anymore. You can tell a significant difference in how it looks. And I'll show you real quick what it looks like. I'm going to put some over here on our plate. Here's our shredded coconut right here. Here's what it comes out after it's been strained through. And then once it's baked, this is about 4 hours of baking. It's very grainy. It's kind of snowflakey. It's very hard in texture. After about 5 hours of baking and blended really well, it's very powdery, just like a flour. It's very soft and smooth. These powders are really good for baking. They're good for making brownies and cakes, coconut cake, extra coconut flavor. Any place that you would bake using a regular flour, you can replace it with coconut flour. It does use more eggs and oil, so use a good quality oil. You can use coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, good eggs, and you're going to have like the yummiest treats in the world. Now in our bowl is our coconut cream and our coconut milk. And you set this in the fridge, and that cream will rise to the top, just like if it was a bowl of milk from a cow. The cream's going to rise to the top. It will harden, and you can pull it right off the top. The milk is good for making ice creams, for drinking the way it is, for in smoothies, for anything you would bake, anything you would make. Curries are really good with fresh coconut milk. The cream makes excellent fudges and chocolates, and my favorite thing, it makes whipped cream. Once it's chilled and hardened, you can put it in your whipper, in your bowl, put it on the whipping attachment, and whip it up with a little bit of sugar and vanilla, then maybe a little bit of cinnamon or cardamom. Really yummy, and it's non-dairy, so it's very good on the tummy. And that's it for today. We've got our coconut cream, coconut milk, and our coconut flowers, and we hope to see you again. Have a happy cooking day.
Okay, it's quiet in the house. My daughter's not around. I have to whisper because she comes running when she hears about this. I want to share one of my favorite coconut milk recipes with you. I take frozen berries. This one is strawberry, a lot of blueberry, and a little bit of raspberry. And I blend it in my food processor with a bit of coconut oil, coconut sugar, and a lot of that coconut milk we just made. And you keep blending, you add some more coconut milk until it runs smooth through the blender. As soon as it starts running smooth, it's done. You open it up and it's like ice cream. But what I like to do is I like to freeze it and then defrost it. And the juice runs off to the side. You have this incredible berry juice. But then what you have left, it's like Jell-O fluff, fruit Jell-O fluff without the Jell-O. And it's got all these chunks of coconut oil and the little seeds from the berries. It's kind of like pecans that you would get in the Jell-O fluff. And it's so delicious. It's fruity and it's refreshing and it's totally vegan. And I just love it. I had to share it with you.